The Witch is a new horror movie that takes place in the 1600s where a Puritan family is living in the woods and is being hunted by a witch. Or at least that's what the trailer will have you believe. What this movie's really about is a psychological horror movie about this Puritan family in the 1600s whose strange supernatural stuff starts happening around them. And while yes, there is a witch out there doing some of the supernatural stuff to them, they start to suspect one another, especially the eldest daughter, because she is the only one who seems to see any of this weird stuff going on. This movie had quite a bit of hype going around it, as it won Best Directing in the Drama category at the Sundance Film Festival last year, which is quite a cool achievement. I mean, it's the Sundance Film Festival. That's huge. A lot of early reviews was saying that this was a brilliant horror movie, and you know what? I gotta agree with them. This movie is expertly made. First off, I just want to compliment the production design in this movie and the attention to detail to make this really feel like a real event happening back in the 1600s. Robert Eggers, who directed this movie, was meticulous in going over and over old diaries from the time, old historical records and all this stuff about the Salem witch trials, about how Puritans acted and just how they talked and just how they would have reacted to a situation like this. And because of this, it adds so much to the movie. Now, I will admit some of the dialogue was hard to understand because they are talking like they did back in the 1600s. All the actors are not only talking like people would have back in the 1600s, but they have like these really thick accents. So yes, that made it a little hard to understand some of the dialogue, but I also loved it because it just added so much realism to the movie, and I understood enough of it. I wasn't lost during the movie. But there are certain points that I'm probably going to, when I watch the movie again, and I will watch this movie again, I'll have to have subtitles on for certain scenes. But I got the gist of it, and it helped make a realistic sense of place in this movie, where you truly feel like you are watching something going on back in the 1600s that we somehow got on screen in 2016. While I'm talking about the look of this movie and the production, I might as well also talk about the cinematography, because the cinematography is freaking fantastic in this movie. If the Oscars actually paid attention to horror movies, then I would dare say that this one will get nominated for Best Cinematography, but probably won't because it's a horror movie. But if they did, it deserves it because it looks amazing. I love the use of the grays and the darks to give it a very brooding and moody atmosphere. I love the use of cloud cover during this movie, and the color palette is brilliant. I love the fact that even if there were shots where there weren't clouds in the sky, maybe, I don't even know, but it always felt like there were, so there probably was. Because of the atmosphere brought on by the cinematography and the color palette in this movie, it really adds a foreboding atmosphere, like something bad is coming to hurt this family, and you're just waiting, you're waiting for something terrible to happen. And that also serves to add to the tension really well to this movie. This movie, to be fair, is not necessarily scary in the traditional, oh no, I'm scared to turn the lights off at night now because something might be here. No, nothing like that, but it does keep you in suspense, and you are tense during the whole movie, wondering what's going to happen to these people. And by the way, the acting in this movie is fantastic across the board. Every single one of these people is really good. Maybe moments when the acting wasn't as good as it was in the rest of the movie, but nothing that really took me out of the movie at all. I really did find myself feeling sorry for this family. I mean, apart from the two youngest children in this movie, but they're supposed to be hateful little brats, so you're not supposed to like them. So that didn't take me out of the movie or anything. They're shits. But the rest of the family I did feel sorry for, especially the oldest daughter who's being accused of being a witch. Because if you think about it, that's got to be a terrifying thing to go through. I mean, she lives in the Puritan times in the 1600s around the Salem witch trials, and she's being accused of being a witch. That's got to be scary as hell. Especially because this is a family of extremist Christian Puritans in the 1600s. I mean, this was a bad time to be alive, basically. Especially to be a Christian. Because if you were even accused as a joke, or just anyone could accuse you because they didn't like you to be a witch, and you're screwed then. You're dead. So really, this movie encapsulates the Puritan extremist Christians at the time. Also, the underlying score in this movie is fantastic. It adds so much to the atmosphere. It's creepy as hell, and it's a very moody and foreboding music. Just like everything else in this movie really just leaves you with a feeling of foreboding and tension, and I thought it was brilliant. This movie leaves you with a foreboding, tense feeling, as well as being a dramatic tragedy, which is brilliant, and I think that was really well done. The writing also is amazing in this movie. Can't forget to mention that. Everything about this movie is just so good. And on top of all that, it's also a great warning as to what happens when it comes to extremist religion. Not just extremist Christians, but extremist religion in general. And I think that's a fair thing that most people can definitely agree with. As for this movie though, I loved every moment of it. I can't wait to see it again. And believe it or not, guys, here it is, the first one of the year. I'm giving this movie 5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, guys, honestly, even if you're not a huge horror fan, I would suggest checking this movie out just for how great of a drama it is. It's a brilliant movie. And if you are a horror fan, well, enjoy, because it's a great horror movie. So if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other videos. Peace.